All right, let's get real for a second. You've probably been fed some kind of lie today, whether it's from the media, your friends, a colleague, or maybe even from yourself. And here's the kicker. Most of us don't even realize it, but don't worry, you're about to level up. In this video, we're diving deep into how to spot those deceptive words and actions and what to do when you catch someone or even yourself in a lie. This isn't your average "let's talk about dishonesty" session. We're going straight to the heart of the issue, arming you with strategies and mindsets that'll help you cut through the noise and live more authentically. We're talking about powerful Stoic principles, practical tips, and a whole lot of eye-opening moments. Ready to get your mind blown and walk away with a whole new perspective? Grab that coffee or whatever fuels you, and let's jump in. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. 1. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Let's hit it with the hard truth. If something sounds way too good to be true, you can bet it's probably a scam in disguise. But somehow, we still fall for it, don't we? I mean, who wouldn't want to believe in that miracle weight loss pill that lets you eat pizza and still shed pounds? Or the magic formula that makes you a millionaire by next Tuesday? Trust me, I've been there. Once, I got sucked into an online scheme that promised to teach me how to make thousands from home with zero effort. Yeah, spoiler alert, the only thing I got was a much lighter wallet after spending $300 on a proven course that basically taught me how to sell the exact same course I just bought. Real game changer, right? But here's the real kicker. Why do we keep falling for it? Because deep down, we want to believe it's possible. We're exhausted, overwhelmed by the grind of life, and the idea of a quick fix seems like a lifeline. I can remember a time when I was drowning in student loans, struggling with a job that barely paid the bills, and then an ad popped up saying I could be financially free in just 90 days. Of course, I wanted to believe it. It was exactly what I needed to hear. But here's what I learned. I wasn't just buying a course. I was buying a dream. I was hoping for a shortcut out of my struggles. And let's not even talk about all those miracle products, like the detox teas and face creams that promise to turn back the clock. No amount of cream can erase all those sleepless nights or poor life choices, Karen. The truth is, most of the time when something seems too good to be true, it's not just the product that's the lie, it's what it reveals about us. We're all chasing the easy way out because deep down we feel like we're not enough. That's the real scam. They're selling us insecurity and desperation, not a solution. So here's the action plan. Next time something promises the world, take a step back and ask yourself two things. First, who's really benefiting if I buy into this? And second, what am I actually trying to fix? Because real success, whether it's in health, wealth, or happiness, takes effort, patience, and yes, a little messiness. The best things in life come with a little grit. There's no shortcut, and honestly, there shouldn't be. So the next time someone offers you a dream come true, check the fine print. It's probably just a paper castle. 2. Emotional manipulation. Let's dive into something a little trickier. Emotional manipulation. It's everywhere, and it's not just sneaky, it's downright genius. Think about it. How many times have you made a decision based solely on how something made you feel rather than what you actually know? Bet it's happened more than once. And here's the kicker, they're doing it on purpose. They've cracked the code to your brain, skip the logic, go straight for the feels. Fear, guilt, excitement. They know how to tug at your emotional strings like a pro, and most of us don't even see it coming. Let's start with fear. Fear is like the ultimate cheat code for manipulation, and politicians know it best. If you don't vote for us, your future is doomed. If we don't act now, we're all in danger. It's fear-mongering at its finest. I remember one election season, I watched an ad that had me convinced the world was ending unless I backed one specific candidate. I was stressed, panicked, even called up friends to vent. Then, after a couple of days, I realized, wait a second, what's the actual plan here? Turns out, there wasn't much of one, just a lot of fear to get me to vote. Next, let's talk about guilt. Oh, guilt is a classic, and it's everywhere. Have you ever watched those heart-wrenching charity ads? The ones where the camera zooms in on a child with a big, sad puppy dog stare, and the music tugs at your heartstrings? They're not just asking for donations, they're trying to make you feel like a terrible person if you don't give. You're a monster if you don't help. And suddenly, you're in the checkout line at 2 a.m. donating $50 to a cause you barely know about, all because you felt guilty. Guilt is manipulation 101, and let's be honest, it works. Then there's the hype and excitement. You've seen it, the countdown clocks, the hurry, act now, banners, the limited time offers. Suddenly you're buying things you don't even need, like that extra air fryer because you might miss out on the deal of the century. I've been there too. I've fallen for those tactics during Black Friday sales, only to regret it later. It's that pressure to act fast, bypassing any logic and going straight for that thrill of, I can't miss this. So why does emotional manipulation work so well? Because it bypasses the brain. When you're overwhelmed with fear, guilt, or excitement, critical thinking takes a back seat. They don't want you asking, is this true? Or, is this a good decision? They want you to act without thinking, and that's where they get you. But here's the real danger. Emotional manipulation doesn't just mess with your wallet, it messes with your mindset. I'll never forget a time when I was constantly guilt-tripped by someone I thought was a friend. I thought you cared about me, they'd say whenever I couldn't help them out. It wore me down to the point where I was doing things I didn't want to just to avoid feeling like the bad guy. But no matter how much I gave, it was never enough. And that's the thing with manipulation. It's not just about what you do, it's about making you feel like you're always falling short. It makes you doubt your own worth. Here's the silver lining. The first step in breaking free is recognizing it. The moment you spot emotional manipulation, you've already won half the battle. So, what do you do when you catch yourself in the middle of it? First, hit pause. Take a breath. Emotional manipulation thrives on reaction, so when you take a step back, you've already broken the cycle. Then, ask yourself, why do they want me to feel this way? Who benefits if I act based on this emotion? And lastly, trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. Remember, your emotions are powerful, and that's a gift. But they're yours to own. Don't let anyone else turn them into a weapon against you. Whether it's a marketer, a politician, or that one friend who knows how to play on your guilt, take back control. The moment you see through their tricks, they lose their power. So next time you feel manipulated by fear, guilt, or hype, ask yourself, am I thinking clearly, or am I just reacting? Trust me, that pause will make all the difference. 3. The illusion of perfection on social media. Social media, the land of flawless selfies, tropical getaways, and living my best life hashtags. It's where everyone's life looks like a perfectly curated Pinterest board, right? But here's the cold, hard truth. It's all a carefully crafted illusion. Social media is like the modern-day Wizard of Oz. Everything seems magical until you pull back the curtain and see what's really going on. I mean, who wouldn't want to believe Becky's mornings are filled with Zen yoga poses, a beautifully frothy latte, and fresh flowers scattered across her kitchen table? But let's be real. If she's anything like me, her mornings probably involve snoozing her alarm for an hour, spilling coffee on herself, and contemplating her life choices. The problem with social media is that it's not real life. It's a highlight reel. You're only seeing the best moments, not the chaos behind the scenes. And even those so-called authentic posts, oh, they're still carefully curated. You know, the ones that say, "I woke up like this"? Well, they probably didn't wake up with perfect skin, no makeup, and no bags under their eyes. And those candid shots you love, they might have taken 50 tries to get just right. Trust me, I've been there. I once posted a picture of a fancy dinner, acting like I was living the dream life. What I didn't share: I skipped lunch to afford the dinner, and I had a full-on argument with the waiter over the bill. The bigger issue here is when we start comparing our real, messy lives to someone else's perfectly manicured online existence. Suddenly, your apartment feels like a shoebox compared to someone else's mansion. Your relationship, with all its ups and downs, seems inadequate next to that picture-perfect #couple goals post. And don't even get me started on fitness influencers who never seem to struggle with their diet, but have abs that could cut glass. I've been there, scrolling through travel influencers' posts, wondering why my life wasn't as exciting. Then I realized they're not sharing the full picture. They're not showing the flight delays, the exhaustion, or the budget-breaking costs to get that perfect vacation shot. And here's the kicker: social media isn't just about sharing, it's a business. Those influencers aren't just living their lives, they're selling you an image. Whether it's a product, a lifestyle, or just their personal brand, they're marketing the idea of perfection because it's profitable. And the algorithms, they're designed to keep you scrolling, comparing, and feeling just insecure enough to click buy on whatever they're pushing. Think about it. If you woke up tomorrow feeling truly happy and content with your life, how many ads would you click on? Probably none. That's how the system works, keeping you in a constant state of longing for something that doesn't even exist. Here's a funny little story. I once saw an influencer post a perfect Parisian getaway photo. What gave it away? The Eiffel Tower was flipped the wrong way. Yep, they photoshopped themselves into the photo. The perfect life you see online? It's usually just that. A perfectly staged, edited, and filtered version of reality. That breathtaking sunset you're coveting, probably saturated and enhanced. That flawless complexion, courtesy of Facetune. That number relationship goals post. It likely involved some serious negotiations about who gets to choose the caption. So how do you stop feeling like everyone else has it together while you're stuck in the real world? First, remember, social media is a performance, not a documentary. What you're seeing is the highlight reel, not the full, messy story. Second, unfollow anyone who makes you feel like your life isn't good enough. Seriously, if someone's posts leave you feeling less than, hit that unfollow button like it's a toxic relationship. And third, focus on your own life and its own unique beauty. Celebrate the small victories and embrace the ordinary moments. Because while Becky's perfectly poured latte might look adorable on Instagram, you're living the parts of life that actually matter, and those are way too real to be captured in a picture-perfect square. I used to get caught up in the comparison game too, trying to curate my life online while secretly feeling like a hot mess behind the scenes. But the moment I stopped chasing perfection was the moment I started feeling genuinely free. Real life isn't perfect, and thank goodness for that. Because honestly, perfect is boring. So the next time you catch yourself comparing your life to someone else's online perfection, remember this: nobody's life is perfect, no matter how flawless it looks through a screen. The real magic, it's in being true to yourself. So let's ditch the fantasy of perfection and embrace the beautiful, messy reality we're already living. Sound good? Let's get to it. 4. I don't have time. The classic excuse. I don't have time. If I had $1 for every time I've said this, or heard someone else say it, I'd be sipping a margarita on my private island right now. But here's the thing. It's not about time. It's about priorities. You've got 15 minutes to mindlessly scroll through TikTok, 3 hours to binge watch The Office for the 8th time, But when it comes to hitting the gym or calling your mum, suddenly you're like, oops, no time. Really? Let's be clear. Time is the great equalizer. Beyoncé has 24 hours in a day. So do you. The real difference is how you choose to use them. When you say, I don't have time, what you're really saying is, it's not important enough to me right now, and that's okay. But let's be honest about it. I used to be the self-proclaimed king of, I don't have time. Working out? Nope. Reading? Nope. Catching up with friends? Nope. But the truth is, I did have time. I just wasn't using it well. I'd scroll through social media for hours, then wonder why I didn't get anything done. Sound familiar? And here's the kicker. Society has convinced us we're busier than we really are. Everyone's in a race to look like they're hustling 24/7 because hustle culture makes us believe that being busy equals being important. But let's call it what it is, complete nonsense. You know those people who love to say, I'm so busy, but when you ask them what they're actually doing, they can't really explain it? Yeah, those folks aren't busy. They just suck at managing their time. But here's the twist. Sometimes, I don't have time isn't just an excuse, it's a defense mechanism. We use it to avoid things that feel overwhelming, uncomfortable, or even scary. Think about it. When I say, I don't have time to work out, what I'm really saying is, I don't want to face how out of shape I feel. Or when we say, I don't have time to work on my dream, we're probably hiding from the fear of failing. I remember when I kept telling myself I didn't have time to start this YouTube channel. I said it for months, but deep down, I wasn't too busy. I was just afraid. Afraid of looking foolish, afraid of failure, afraid of putting myself out there, and saying, I don't have time, felt a lot safer than saying, I'm afraid. So how do we break free from using I don't have time as a crutch? First, start by being real with yourself. Ask, is this really about time, or is there something deeper going on? Then, take full ownership of how you spend your hours. Let's face it, if you've got time to scroll Instagram or watch YouTube videos, you've definitely got time to chase your goals. And listen, you don't have to make some huge change all at once. Start small. Instead of saying, I don't have time to exercise, try saying, I'll take a 10-minute walk. Instead of, I don't have time to read, go for, I'll read 1 page. Those little wins add up faster than you think. There was a big shift for me when I stopped saying, I don't have time, and started saying, it's just not a priority. At first, it stung, it felt harsh, but it forced me to face the truth. When I said, I don't have time to call my family, what I was really saying was, I'm choosing other things over them. That hit me hard, but it also made me reevaluate my life. Now, I make time for what matters most, and the rest, the endless emails, the doom scrolling, the mindless distractions, not nearly as important as I thought. Look, life is busy, we all know that. But next time you catch yourself saying, I don't have time, pause, ask, is it really about time, or is it about priorities? And if it's priorities, what are you choosing instead? The truth is, time isn't something you stumble upon, it's something you create. None of us are getting extra hours in our day. So, how are you spending yours? Stop saying, I don't have time, and start asking, what do I want to make time for? Believe me, that shift will change everything. All right, now that we've cleared that up, let's move on, because I made time to be here with you, and I'm glad you made time to join me. 5. It's too late. Let's dive into one of the most toxic lies we tell ourselves. It's too late. Too late for what? Too late to follow your dreams? Too late to fix something broken? Too late to start over? News flash. It's never too late. Unless, of course, you're trying to microwave last night's pizza for the 3rd time, then, yeah, it might be too late. Here's the thing about the it's too late excuse. It's not just false, It's a killer of dreams. It convinces you to throw in the towel before you even try. Think about how many people have abandoned their goals because of those 3 little words. It's like putting a premature expiration date on your potential, and that's a load of crap. Let's be honest, society doesn't help either. We're constantly told there's a perfect time for everything. Graduate by 22, score your dream job by 25, get married by 30. And if you don't check those boxes in order, people start looking at you like you've missed the boat. But here's the hard truth. Life isn't a linear checklist. It's a journey, full of detours, delays, and opportunities that pop up at the most unexpected moments. There's no set deadline for greatness, so why do we keep saying it's too late? Simple: fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of realizing the dream you've been putting off is harder than you imagined. Saying it's too late is just a sneaky way of saying I'm scared. But here's the thing about playing it safe. It's comfortable, sure, but it's also unfulfilling. Staying in your comfort zone may seem easier, but you'll never know what could have been if you don't push past that barrier. I remember when I thought it was too late for me to go back to school. I kept thinking, everyone my age has their degree by now. What's the point? But then I asked myself, what's scarier, starting late or never starting at all? Spoiler alert, I went back to school, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made. Let's bust some myths, shall we? You've heard the saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? Well, tell that to the 85-year-old grandma who learned to skateboard, or the 50-year-old who started their own business and became a millionaire, or the 40-year-old who picked up painting and now has their work displayed in a gallery. Age isn't the problem. Your mindset is the only thing that holds you back. Colonel Sanders launched KFC at 62. Vera Wang designed her first dress at 40. Morgan Freeman became a household name at 52. Can you imagine if any of them had said, it's too late? We'd be missing out on some of the best chicken, fashion, and movies of all time. So, what's your excuse? I used to think it was too late for me to chase my passion for content creation. I'd think, there are already so many creators, who's going to care about me? But then I realized something. The world didn't need another version of someone else. It needed me. And you know what? I started, and yes, those first videos were rough. But if I hadn't taken that leap, I wouldn't be here right now, talking to you. It's been a wild ride, but one I wouldn't trade for anything. So listen closely. It's never too late to start. The only time it's too late is when you decide to stop trying. As long as you're breathing, you have the power to change, grow, and create something incredible. And guess what? All the experiences you've had up until now, good, bad, and ugly, are exactly what make you uniquely qualified to succeed. You're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be to begin. Here's the reality. The clock keeps ticking whether you take action or not. But you don't have to let time be the thing that holds you back. Whether you're 20, 50, or 80, the moment you decide to start is the moment you're ahead of where you were yesterday. I love this quote. It's never too late to be what you might have been. It's a powerful reminder that every day is a fresh opportunity to rewrite your story. So next time you catch yourself thinking, it's too late, ask yourself this: what's the worst that could happen if you tried? And more importantly, what's the best? Because here's the truth. The only thing standing between you and your dreams isn't time, it's you. So stop waiting, start now, and let's prove together that too late is just another lie we tell ourselves to stay comfortable. 6. Success looks a certain way. Let's tackle one of the biggest myths out there, the idea that success looks a certain way. You know the one I'm talking about, the fancy car, the corner office, the six-pack abs, and the Pinterest-perfect family photos. Spoiler alert, that's not success. That's a marketing campaign. Because apparently, if you don't own a yacht by 30, you're a failure. Like, sorry, I spent my yacht money on rent and avocado toast. My bad. Here's the thing. This cookie-cutter idea of success, it's a lie. It's a one-size-fits-all model that doesn't actually fit anyone. Yet we've been sold this narrative since we were kids. Study hard, get a good job, buy a house, start a family, retire, and voila, success achieved. But what if that's not what you want? Or what if you try it and still feel empty? The truth is, success isn't a straight line. It's a messy, zigzaggy, sometimes upside-down journey that looks different for everyone, and that's okay. You want to know why this idea of success exists, because it keeps you in the system. The people who profit off your insecurities, banks, corporations, even social media platforms, need you to believe that success looks like a designer bag, a big house, or the perfect body. That way you'll keep spending, striving, and scrolling, thinking, if I just have that, I'll be happy. Newsflash, you won't. It's like chasing a carrot on a stick, except when you finally grab the carrot, you realize it's plastic. Here's what they don't tell you. Success is subjective. It's not about ticking off someone else's checklist. It's about creating a life that feels meaningful to you. For some, that's climbing the corporate ladder. For others, it's raising a family, starting a small business, or just being happy in their own skin. And you know what? All of those are valid. I used to think success meant making a ton of money and being important. But then I realized I don't need a six-figure salary to feel successful. I need freedom. I need connection. I need to create something that helps people. And once I figured that out, I stopped comparing myself to others and started building a life I actually love. Let's talk about the comparison game for a second. You know the one. You scroll through Instagram and see someone with their dream job, dream house, dream body, and a dog that looks like it was hand-picked by angels, and you're sitting there thinking, wow, I'm really out here eating ramen noodles at my desk. But here's the thing, you're comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. You don't see the sleepless nights, the stress, or the sacrifices behind their so-called perfect life. And honestly, their version of success might not even make you happy. I'll never forget the time I landed what I thought was my dream job. Great salary, cool title. It was everything I'd ever wanted. But within months, I felt trapped. I was stressed, miserable, and completely unfulfilled. On paper, I was successful, but in reality, I was a wreck. Walking away from that job was one of the hardest things I've ever done, but it taught me an important lesson. Success isn't about how your life looks to others. It's about how it feels to you. So, how do you redefine success on your own terms? Start by asking yourself, what do I want? Not what society wants, not what your parents want, not what Instagram says you should want. What do you want? Because until you figure that out, you'll keep chasing someone else's dream. And don't forget to celebrate the small wins. Maybe your version of success is cooking a homemade meal, or taking a day off without guilt, or finally starting that side hustle. Whatever it is, own it, because if it makes you happy, it counts. Here's the truth. Success doesn't have a single face, a single path, or a single definition. It's as unique as you are. So stop chasing the life you think you're supposed to have and start living the life that's right for you. At the end of the day, success isn't about money, status, or how many likes you get. It's about feeling fulfilled, being proud of who you are, and living a life that makes you excited to wake up in the morning. And trust me, you're the only one who gets to decide what that looks like. All right. Let's stop chasing society's version of success and start building our own. Deal? Now let's move on to the next one, because this conversation is only getting better. You're already on your way to cutting through the noise and living life on your terms. Remember, the world is full of people trying to sell you something, whether it's an idea, a product, or even a lie. But there's something they can't sell you: your own mind. So use it. Question everything, trust your gut, and don't be afraid to rewrite the script when something doesn't feel right. At the end of the day, this life is yours. It's messy, unpredictable, and sometimes downright confusing. But it's also beautiful, full of possibility, and worth fighting for. Don't let fear, comparison, or someone else's version of success stop you from living authentically. Your story isn't over, and you have the pen in your hand, so write something epic. If this video hit you in the feels or gave you a laugh, go ahead and smash that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and don't forget to subscribe for more honest, slightly controversial, and always real conversations. And hey, drop a comment below. What's one lie you've caught on to recently? Let's keep the conversation going. That's it for today, folks. Thank you for spending your precious time here with me. Stay curious, stay bold, and most importantly, stay you. I'll see you in the next one.